Hey everybody, it's Lisa Molinari again. I'm back here in the pantry, otherwise known as my unheated home office, for another episode of Ponderings from the Pantry. You know, my last two episodes, I concentrated on lighthearted, funny things, but you know, we've had a lot of bad news this week in this country, so I've decided to ask a special guest to join us so that we can discuss the more troubling issues of our times. Hello, everybody. My special guest today is none other than Moby, the Molinari family dog. Thank you for being with us. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you for being with us today, Moby. We are so honored. Moby actually has a very prestigious, lengthy bio, and I'd just like to let our audience know some of Moby's accomplishments. Moby is AKC registered. He is a lifelong New Englander. His rabies tag is completely up to date. He's fully certified in sit and fetch commands and is still working on and hopes to one day accomplish come. He is a dedicated patron of the Newport Dog Park. His interests include tennis balls, sneaking naps on the couch, rawhide treats, human beings, and eternal optimism. Thank you for being with us today, Moby. You know, we have a lot of serious issues to discuss, so let's get right to it. I know you've been watching the press briefings every day because you like to stay on top of that kind of thing. I just wondered, what is your take on the global pandemic? What's that? You say the world is going through a rough pooch. Yes, that is true. But if we are patient, we just take a step back, do a little doggy paddle, he says. What's that? Stay positive. Don't stop retrieving. Never stop retrieving. And what? He says if we do all that, the world will get a new leash on life. That's wonderful. Thank you, Moby. I don't know how you stay so optimistic in these times, you know. It's tough. I mean, the economy is collapsing, you know. The retail industry, they're predicting massive losses in the retail industry, you know, including pet stores. How do you stay so positive with that kind of news? No, honey. No, you're barking up the wrong tree, hon. Nobody's selling any tails. Don't worry about that. Nobody's selling tails. Don't be sad. No, I'm talking about retail industry. No, hon. I know it's barbaric to dock tails. No, nobody's doing that. No, we would never do that. Let's just move on to something else. You know, the world wants to know, Moby, because it involves other animals, four-legged creatures like yourself. Do you think that the Tiger King should be pardoned? What? You have no comment, but what's that? Oh, you want to give a shout out. He wants to give a shout out to his four-legged friends at the Bronx Zoo who came down with the coronavirus. Yes, he says his thoughts and prayers are with them. Thank you for that, Moby. It's very thoughtful of you. You know, a lot of people are reading during the coronavirus, and I was just wondering, what are your favorite authors to read during quarantine right now? Oh, he says Mark Twain. It's a classic. Beowulf, and oh, right, when he's feeling playful, a little J.K. growling. That's terrific. Speaking of books, Moby, let me just give you a little treat here, just so because you're being so good. Speaking of books, I just want to point out he is an incredible character in my book, The Meat and Potatoes of Life, My True Lit Com. Moby is in a lot of the stories. Yes, right there. Yes, right. Those are the stories you're in. There's one called The Hair of the Dog. There's one called Puppy Personality Disorder. And there's one that brings back a little bit of trauma to him. It's called The Fix Is In. That episode was about when Moby got neutered. You know, we don't want to talk about that. But listen, I just want to thank Moby. For being my special guest today and talking us through the serious issues of our time and giving us his spin and his optimism, because when it all boils down to it, we're all going to be all right. And if you're looking for something to read and you want to read about Moby, The Meat and Potatoes of Life, My True Lit Com, you can get it at barnesandnoble.com, you can get it at amazon.com, and you can get it at militaryfamilybooks.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye, Moby.